So I'm going to start, actually, Darren's sneaking away, but that means I'll start at the other end. Give Cameron the last couple of words, 25 to 30 seconds summarizing, right down the line, and then I'll thank the community for staying as patiently as they did.
All right, I'd like to explore the tree cutting bylaw and just see how extensive that is. I believe as a homeowner, I've got the right to cut trees in my backyard, and if I want to do that, unless I'm affecting the neighbors, I believe that's my right. If we look at the botanical garden, I think we're very clearly in support of that. As we look at homelessness, I think I really value and love the compassion this community has shown for homelessness, and appreciate the planning and innovative ways that our staff are working with agencies like Community Services and Arrowhead Society to help address homelessness on the coast.
Thanks a lot, Cameron, and thank you for being interrupted by the bell. We're just going to have to do that. It's going to be a tough one. Warren, 30 seconds.
Thank you. I think as everyone recognizes tonight, there are diverse issues. Almost every person in this room has something that's more near and dear to their heart than the issue of a person sitting beside you. And yes, to paraphrase whoever it was, yes, they are long evenings. Yes, and although some of you tonight have been at council and felt and shared my pain, I love Sechelt. I'm going to be here, the good Lord willing, till I get old. And if you'd like to pick up my green brochure at the back, I would be happy to hand it out to you. Thank you.
Thanks, Warren. Dwayne?
Thank you, everyone, for coming tonight. Yes, anything we can do for the homeless situation with support services and affordable housing. Tree cutting bylaw, yes, I think that sometimes trees going down in our neighbor's yard are important to us. I also am in favor of the botanical garden, which can be a great green leader for us. And if I was to have a slogan, it would be empowering a greener community with smart growth principles. Thank you.
Thank you, Dwayne. Stan, 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
On the tree cutting, I'm in favor of no tree cutting in your private property unless it's danger and you've got to be looked after. But in public grounds, there could be deals with the community forest groups and all that, so that we can still look after our property outside the highways department's land. So that has to be looked after. On homelessness, if council agrees there that we go forward with homelessness and find a facility for something like that to have happen in a positive way, let's go for it. Because Vancouver, 60 years ago, said, oh, there's only a few. It's up to 10,000 now, so you got to stop it from the start. Not anywhere after that, it's gone. So with the gardens, I'm in agreement with that. Like I mentioned before, we need more parks and all that, but gardening and all that is something that's very important to everybody's heart. I see beautiful areas in Montreal and Quebec and all that God are made, so we got to do that.
Thank you, Stan.
They're the best. Let's work with them.
Thank you. Alice?
On the tree cutting bylaw, we were promised a tree cutting bylaw after the trees were cut down in front of the West. We never got it. And I think that if we had had one, not to prevent cutting all trees everywhere, but if we had a tree cutting bylaw, I think it might have been used, could have been used, to control what the Claytons did to the property just west of the village. And on the botanical garden, before the bell goes, the question was whether, if elected, would I actively support and promote the botanical garden? And the answer is regardless of the outcome of the election. I think this is a wonderful idea, and I will support it, even if I don't get elected.
Thank you, Alice.
Definite yes to the botanical garden. I think it would be great, and it's also a really good form of tourism that helps economically. And tree cutting has to be controlled, but I still would like to be able to cut a tree down in my own yard. And I definitely would like to see more support to cold weather shelters for the homeless.
Thank you, Anne. Alice?
As a member of the community, I really support Arrowhead and have involved our union as adopting them as a charitable group that we support. For myself, I would say that every time I go to a convention anywhere in Canada, I stand up at the mic, introduce myself, my local, and say from the beautiful Sunshine Coast. And I truly feel that statement defines me. Thanks.
Thank you, Alice. And Mike.
Yes to address the homelessness issues. No to tree cutting on private lots, but I think there should be a minimum lot size or acreage size where you do have the authority to control the cutting of trees. And yes to supporting for the botanical gardens. I think my support for where the community is moving is exemplified in my participation over 18 months in the vision exercise. And since that time, advocating what that vision exercise has said in the various rezonings that have come forward since that time.
Thank you, Mike. And Ed.
Okay, homelessness, yes, I think we will do what we can do and within our jurisdiction. Tree cutting bylaw, I'm in favor of it. And botanical gardens, it's a great facility in our community, and we've already donated some machine time to it already, so as a municipality, we're in there working now.
Thank you, Ed. And Fred. Final
I certainly
summary.
support the botanical garden. In terms of homelessness, as president of community services, we have linked up with the district and we are renovating the RCMP building, the old one, and putting 8 low-cost housing units on there for homeless people in the next few years. So I've been active in that area. There are lots of issues that people are bringing forward, and I want to thank you for them all. And the key is that we need to work together as a community. Council in the last couple of years has been very divisive, and I think we need to work closer together as a council if we're going to achieve anything in our community.
Thank you, Fred. And Keith?
Botanical, yes. Affordable housing, we now have an affordable housing bylaw. Homelessness hopefully can become part of that in the next 3 years. Tree cutting bylaw, I prefer to call it a water retention bylaw. When you say tree cutting bylaw, the first thing that happens is everybody cuts their trees down before the bylaw gets in place. It's about water retention. My vision phrase would be open-minded, because the mind is like a parachute, as you all know. It only works when it's open. So I want to keep my mind open to work with a diverse group of people on council that will probably get re-elected, and some new people, and vote for Keith until November 15th. Thank you.
Thank you, Keith. And Darren Inkster, candidate for mayor.
Thank you, Bruce.
30 seconds.
Botanical garden, I already said yes. Nothing's changed. Affordable housing, we've introduced a policy of affordable housing, of developments contributing to affordable housing policy. And we're looking forward to a number of units coming online to serve the need. We've also created a night shelter, the cold weather night shelter at the old RCMP building, and I hope we do that again this year, and I'm quite sure that we will. It's very important. Tree cutting bylaw, we have one for our district lands, and we've already went through a fining structure a number of years ago and got a number of trees replaced and defined per tree, which is something I insisted on. And our vision phrase, managed and planned smart growth.
Thank you very much. First, let's have a round of applause for all of the candidates.